Hello, everybody, and welcome to another channel, another channel audit for podcasters.
Yes,
I
for
think that's the issue that I have lately. Is like we used to do pod audits, and now we do channel audits
mhm,
for podcasters.
yes.
So that's why we're here
I guess we
and
could just say channel audits, YouTube channel audits.
YouTube channel
Uh-huh.
audits. We are live on our YouTube channel, and we are very excited to be here
Mhm.
tonight. We have very interesting YouTube channel about it's a travel vlog,
Uh-huh.
and this is our first travel vlog that we have here for our audit,
For our channel audits,
our
yep.
channel audit.
And looks like a couple people have already joined. Let us
Hmm.
know where you're tuning in from. Say hi. Yeah, so like Veronica mentioned, we do these channel audits, and the purpose behind these audits is to kind of look at the channels. Oh, it's Sophia.
Hi,
Hey.
Sophia.
So this is the oddity in question. Sophia
Hmm.
was nice enough to volunteer her channel for
The
us
well
to audit.
traveled, cute Sophia.
Yes, and so the goal of these is to look at these channels under a magnifying glass
Hmm.
and see if we can sort of help the auditee
Hmm.
to improve their channel, to look for ways that they can improve their channel from an outsider's perspective, to get an outsider's input on it,
Hmm.
and then open it up for community discussion here. So if you have any questions or any suggestions as you're
Hmm.
watching this, please drop them. Also, while we get into it, go ahead and head over to Sophia's channel, um, and you can give her some love there and subscribe. One of the things that she mentioned in the form that we have our oddities fill out is that she really wants to get to the 100 subscribers.
Hmm.
Um, Looks like we have Kashan, Kashan,
Kashan.
Kashan,
Kashan
Kashan from India.
Muhadiran.
How's it going? Thanks for joining us so much. And it looks like we have Jax too.
Hmm.
Jax, where are you tuning in from? We've got a few other people that
Raja.
have.
Oh, podcast in London.
Oh,
Oh, how
cool.
cool.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Well, this can be really fun. So anybody else who's in the room, definitely say hi. And
Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and start it, and then we'll stop periodically to answer your questions
uh-huh.
and maybe to ask some questions to Sophia.
Yeah.
Sophia says that she is in Salvador, Brazil.
Oh, you're in Brazil. Okay, cool.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm from Colombia, Sophia.
we are
Close
jealous.
by a little bit.
We want to get closer to the equator as soon as possible.
We do.
Yeah. Um, cool. So this is her channel, everyone. It's the
Mm-hmm.
Sofía Syntaxx, and you'll see right here on the banner.
Mm.
Oh, and one thing, if this is your first time tuning into one of our channel audits, we usually start with what we like about the channel, and then we kind of get into our critique about it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if you happen to be new to the whole podcasting on YouTube thing in general, we have a really helpful freebie, and we'll make sure to leave that in the description of this. It's called the Podcast to Video
Mm-hmm.
Starter Guide.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Also, we have some news for you that we'll be sharing later
We'll be
in
sharing,
this.
yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
make sure to stick around for that.
Make
We
sure
have
you
some
stick
really,
around. It's
really fun news.
big announcement.
Oh, and look, there's one more subscriber. I can't believe we hadn't subscribed yet. So
Oh,
Sophia
that's
just
great.
got another subscriber. So this is great. So I love the banner. I love the colors. I
Mm-hmm.
love the animated Sophia right here.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I wouldn't mind while we're talking about the banner and kind of the channel in general is to kind of, pardon me, if there's a way that you could tell me a little bit more, like as a person who just stumbled on your channel, what this channel will do for me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool that you're a linguist. Really cool that you're a linguist. Really cool that you're a traveler. From watching some of your videos, it seems like you really are. Like this first video here, the Brazilian Portuguese Daily Challenge. It's cool that you're kind of bringing that to an audience, right? Like exposing them to different languages and how you can speak in different languages and all that. And it's really cool that you're a traveler too. So that kind of puts you in the vlogging category,
Mm-hmm.
and travel vlogging is very highly competitive on YouTube. There's some huge travel vlog channels. A lot of people do travel vlogging, but there's space for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter how, I would say, saturated the market is.
Yes.
But it's the same sort of idea with any YouTube channel, any podcasting on YouTube channel, is to look at ways that you can stand out, that you can be different.
Mm-hmm.
And Veronica was saying before we hopped into this that is something, especially when it comes to travel vlogging, that, what was it, your
Hmm.
personality and
Yes. So travel vlogging is similar to gaming. There's a lot of gaming channels on YouTube, and there's a lot of travel vlog channels on YouTube. And what makes a difference between channels that have thousands and hundreds of thousands of subscribers and millions of subscribers is the personality, what's going to set you apart. It is so related to your personality, to the way that you do things, to the way that you experience the world, and the places that you're in,
mhm.
and you know this the different spins and the different ways that you communicate with your audience through your videos is what's going to help you grow your audience.
Yeah,
And so,
definitely.
for example, they were saying, and they were mentioning an example of somebody who wants to start a YouTube channel about Minecraft. Well, that is just so saturated.
Mhm.
But what if you're playing Minecraft while on the biggest TV in the United States?
Yeah,
So there you go. Like you have your thumbnail, and you're like playing Minecraft in the biggest TV there is here in the United States,
yeah.
or playing Minecraft underwater because you know that person just happens to know how to scuba dive or something, something like that. So something that really catches the attention of people scrolling on YouTube and be like, "Oh, that sounds crazy."
Yeah, it's something that really sets you apart that will get people talking about your videos. And then also, so there's good questions we can ask ourselves all the time when we're making a new video. Is, what would I find interesting? What would I want to click on?
Mm-hmm.
What topic, what spin can I put on this topic? What would really be of value to people?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Or what does my audience care about?
yeah, and then what does my audience care about?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot to unpack here with that too. Eh, with all of that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One thing I
But
noticed,
let's start with the you were talking about the banner,
yeah,
right?
and Sophia also says the banner was so hard.
I know.
Why does Canva make it so difficult? You know
We have a
what?
trick for you, and you're gonna love us forever. Hold on tight.
Yeah, hold on tight. Let me see if I can show you the trick real quick. I mean, it's with Canva, it's a pretty easy trick. Canva, I
It's
love
not a pretty
Canva.
easy trick. Like he was sharing it the other day, and I was like, "Oh,
Like, wait a minute,
wow."
what's going on here? Hold on, let me see if I can figure this out, I guess. Okay. Stop screen. There we go. Share. And I'm still getting used to screen flow, or I'm sorry, StreamYard here, which
Mm-hmm.
I really have been enjoying a lot. Here we go. So here's Canva. For those of you who don't know what Canva is, it's a really cool, it's just one of the main tools you have to have in your podcaster's toolkit.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go up here to create design, you can actually start typing in YouTube. And one of the things you'll see is YouTube channel art. And it pops up this big thing here. What you can then do is go to Google. And from Google, you can type in YouTube channel art template. And I already have one pretty recently, like Veronica was mentioning, this one right here. And then you just drag it. Now, if you click on it, it brings it in like that. If you just click on it. But if you drag it to the top corner, it will autofill the whole area. So that's something that's nice. Drag to the top corner, autofills the whole area. Now you have a nice background where you can start building your design. And then over here where it says elements, you can click on elements and bring in, I like to use these just square elements. You can start using your brand colors. Then what I'll do usually here is like kind of make this semi-transparent. If you come up here, you see this says transparency. Do something like that. That way you can kind of get this right where it should be. Notice how it says text and logo safe area there. That is that inside box there. If I make this totally transparent again, you'll see what I'm talking about. This inside box here is what will actually show up on the mobile.
On the mobile,
So you
yeah.
want to keep everything inside there. Anyway, so we'll put that up, and then you could just kind of do this. You can add another one here, maybe change the color to a different color for the background color, and do something like this. This color that occupies this background here will only ever be seen if somebody watches it on a big TV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then you can just kind of continue to do that. That way you can sort of keep track of where you should be. I would probably also just kind of keep that open, that so you can
Mm-hmm.
see, maybe even do this. So you know that your whole design that you're making for your YouTube channel art should be inside of this square right here, right? That makes sense. So then you could go to like a photo and, or we'll go to upload, grab a picture of Veronica holding a camera. And here there's this really awesome effect that Canva comes built in, and it's the background remover. And you click on background remover. This background remover effect isn't available for the free version of Canva. It's only available
For the pro
for the
version.
pro or Canva Pro, which I think is $9.99 a month, $9 a month, if I'm not mistaken. Normally it does this a little bit faster, but we're streaming. So, and there you go. That's really quite impressive. So how quick it was to do that. And then you could kind of put her up here, something like that, and then you would add your text and say, um, you know, what your channel is. And then what's really cool, if we pop back over to Sophia's, um, if we pop back over to hers, is she's already kind of, you know, you understand a lot. I can tell you've really been doing your research with what you should be putting in on your YouTube channel, ideally. And hopefully, I guess I had that banner there the whole time. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. But the there we go. Have to go back and share screen to YouTube again for Sophia's channel. Um, Notice how it says linguist, traveler, and host of the Anger podcast. So
Mm-hmm.
what I was getting at is maybe there you could put something else like, what is this channel going to do for me? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what am I going to learn from this channel? Why should I subscribe? And if you can put that in a simple sentence, that would be great too.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think that
And also, some people add how frequently they add new videos to their channel.
yeah, they'll add how frequently they add new videos to their channel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
You
then
know,
right.
we release videos every week. We
Mhm.
release videos on Mondays and Thursdays or something like that.
Yeah, and now what I do like down here with your Anger podcast is you do have, you did put a playlist description here. Oops. Let me make this bigger for everyone watching. And in this playlist description, this is really cool. Using humor to educate and radicalize inspiring stories, resources and strategies to decolonize your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Hosted by me, Sofía Syntaxx. So that's a cool, that is a really cool description. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm talking about more. I want to see more descriptions. I want to understand. So you're letting us know that you're going to be using humor and you're going to educate us with inspiring stories. And then, but again, with decolonizing the mind, it takes me a minute to arrive at what that is,
Mm-hmm.
but I like that. But that I think what you're saying is to sort of open our mind to new cultures,
Mm-hmm.
right? And to new, so maybe something up here along those lines could be like discover new cultures.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of other things that are really why travel vlogging is so popular is because we love to live vicariously through you.
Yeah.
And that's why it's going to be so cool for us to develop a relationship with you through YouTube, because we'll be able to travel the world with you. We'll be able to travel around with you places.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's kind of my spiel on the
On
banner,
the banner.
and the banner is really important.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can get now into some other things. Do we have any other questions at all? Sophia, do you have any questions? It looks like we have Stay Winning podcast. Yeah, you bet, for sure. And I think we have, this is a channel audit
Ujo.
for those. Oh,
Ujo's
hey,
in the house.
Ujo. How's it going, Ujo? Ujo is a favorite podski of ours. Ujo also has a really cool YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
And on one of her, she did a live stream recently where she read tarot cards
Well, like
for,
a few weeks ago.
well, a few weeks ago, pretty recently. So definitely check Ujo's channel out too. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's really cool while we're all here watching to hop over and give each other some love on our
Yes.
YouTube channels.
Yeah. And you guys can find Sophia's channel too
Just
by Sofía
I
Syntaxx.
think you can click on it from here where you're
Oh, you
watching the
can click
video.
on it. Yes.
Hopefully, but
Sophia wants to reach 100 subscribers, and we want to make it
we want to make it happen.
our mission. We want to make it happen.
Yeah. So make sure you're dropping your questions in here. This was really cool. Sophia said, I hear that finding my niche will be key.
Mm-hmm.
And it is finding your niche. And then right here we said, I seriously resized it in Canva 18 plus times. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. And then you back and forth from
Mm-hmm.
YouTube. So now should we talk about a little bit about kind of keyword research,
Yeah.
kind of making videos? We had a really cool conversation today with our favorite YouTube coach and also a collaborator, Nick Nimmin, and he
Mm-hmm.
was talking about this idea between, instead of ranking for search is really good, and that's what keyword research is all about, is ranking for search. but also to what was the way that he put it? Not ranking for search, but
Discover
ranking for discovery
for
or
discovery.
optimizing for discovery, not
Mm-hmm.
for search. And I love that. And what he means by that is YouTube has moved beyond even a search engine and now it's a discovery engine. So it will actually suggest channels to people, it will suggest videos to people. It's really powerful in that way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really cool to go through and to optimize each one of our videos for search. So if somebody does happen to be searching for a specific thing that our video is about, that's great. Always a good practice. But it's also equally a good practice to think about how you can get people to interact with your thumbnail and with your title when they see you on their homepage. And that's where keywords and really well thought out descriptions, adding captions to your videos and all
Mm-hmm.
that.
Thumbnails.
Thumbnails, yep, are very important. But what I was going to say about the keywords and the descriptions and the captions that you can add to your videos is that tells YouTube what your video is about. So then YouTube says, okay, well, this video is about this. I'm going to put it in this category and show it to this group of people that I know
Mm-hmm.
or that like this kind of thing. Super powerful. So I think your thumbnails are already looking really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think you've got a really cool style, a really cool,
Yes,
you're
and she's
already,
optimizing her videos.
yeah, you've been optimizing your videos really
Mm-hmm.
well. Like if we look at this one, for example, um, this one is Brazilian Portuguese Daily Challenge,
Mm-hmm.
Speaking and Learning with Sofía Syntaxx. So this is pretty cool. And
So we scroll
if
down.
we scroll down to the tags, and this is TubeBuddy we're using to see this. If we say show search rankings, we get to see that she's actually ranking number
Number
one
one.
for Portuguese Daily Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
If we click on that, it'll open up the Keyword Explorer and we can see like how much that term is searched. So this isn't a very hard term to search to rank for because it's in the red. It's not searched that often.
Mm-hmm.
People aren't really searching for Portuguese Daily Challenge all that much. But this also gives us a good opportunity to look at the results. You can see there's Sofia number one.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have 15-minute Portuguese, beginner Portuguese challenge, then just Portuguese food, 35 minutes of Portuguese conversation practice. So this kind of can be really powerful and really fun because it can get your creative juices flowing like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It can be like, well, everything I just did, like this video you just made here, for example, maybe is like Portuguese practice. So maybe you can get into that world with your channel of teaching people Portuguese or teaching maybe Spanish speakers specifically, because Veronica's from Colombia, but I'm sure if you went to Brazil, you'd hardly understand what they're saying,
Yeah,
right?
no.
Yeah. So the two languages are similar, but maybe like helping Spanish speakers learn Portuguese,
Mm-hmm.
and you can have a playlist just for that, since you are going after the linguist and the interest in language and all of that thing as well too. So it's not even, yeah. So those are my thoughts on
Mm-hmm.
it. I kind of lost my train of thought actually, but so let's go back to your main channel here and see, um, worth the 450 a month. Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
A little bird told me about TubeBuddy, she says. It is a really great tool for those of you who don't have TubeBuddy yet. It's a really cool tool.
Yes.
You can go to tubebuddy.com/, Pod Sound School, and you can actually get it for cheaper than 450 a month. I think it's like it's a little discount you get with our Pod Sound School URL. And we also get a little commission if you do that too. So that's really fun.
It's a win-win.
So do you have any other specific questions, Sophia, since you
Mhm.
have us here and, because we can,
So I think there's a lot of things that Sophia is doing right on her channel.
Mhm.
Like I was saying, she has a little intro for her videos, at
Mhm.
least the latest videos that I watched, the Brazilian Portuguese challenge. There's a little intro piece. Something that I would like to see more would be more at like a formal intro of your video, what the video is about. Like for example, the Brazilian Portuguese challenge. I would have, and this is just like my personal opinion, not as a YouTube coach or any of that, is as a viewer. I would like to see more, a little bit of context, like what's going on, like why this Brazilian challenge, like where is it, was your idea, is it where yeah, why did you come up with the idea?
Mm-hmm.
Why did you decided to come up with this challenge, or was it somebody else who decided to come up with the challenge? Or so here with YouTube, you have a little bit more flexibility and a little bit more time to use a 30 seconds, 45 seconds to explain. So I watched this video, I heard about the Brazilian challenge. So the Portuguese, the Portuguese daily challenge, and I'm gonna do this on this video. I'm gonna show you this, and that, and then you go into your content.
Yeah.
It's different than, for example, TikTok or IG Reels, that you just have to jump on the thing very quick,
Right off the bat.
right off the bat.
But
So,
even very viral TikTok videos do that. Here's how to do this in 10 seconds,
mhm,
or this is my favorite hack for doing this. They just squeeze that hook in there in like 5 seconds.
mhm.
Like, mhm,
And also, like I mentioned at the beginning, if you can bake into your videos something that will set that video apart. So I was talking to Steven before this, thinking about what strategies we should tell you to um, we should advise you to use. And like, for example, before you're going to travel to a place, or when you are doing all those arrangements and you know that you're going to be on a place for a while, like right now you are in Brazil, just to do some keyword research while you're there or before you go on your trip, so you can really pinpoint the things that people are searching for on YouTube. Like, for example, right now, if I want to go to Colombia, something that I would be interested in is like what kind of precautions or what kind of steps or things I should do before going to Colombia during a pandemic.
mhm.
So things like that, like how to travel to Brazil during a pandemic
Yep.
safely, um, things like that. And then during your video, then you can um, make a video of you going through all the steps, really like telling people, so I did this, I did this,
Hmm.
I did this, I am here, I am safe, it is safe for you to come. So something that I would advise you to do is not to do this, not to do that, because it will be so valuable. And I think it's just that, like Steven said, it's, we want to experience the traveling and the place through your eyes,
Hmm.
so we can learn from it and maybe schedule or book a trip to Brazil,
Yeah.
or just to like be there because we like to watch videos of and choose our next destination or
Hmm.
something like that. So that would be my my advice regarding the content, the video, how we need to include a little bit of more structure.
Yeah.
We need to include a little bit more of um, telling the viewer what to expect and what's going to happen and all that.
Yep.
And I think you have a lovely personality. I think
Yeah, you've got that in the
I
bag for sure.
you have that personality for travel vlogger.
Hmm.
So I would just keep posting videos, keep optimizing your videos for discoverability,
Yeah.
keep working on your thumbnails, and keep experimenting with your thumbnails and see how that goes.
Yeah, and I really liked everything that Veronica said, and I totally agree with it too. And so that's where we're looking at a couple different things. So one thing you're doing really right is a ton of optimization,
Mm-hmm.
optimization. Uh,
Optimization. You're doing
watching
a lot of optimization.
watching trains go by in Athens. Look at all these
That sounded
tags.
like Brazilian. Are you
Did
trying
it?
to
Oh, I
impress
am
Sophia with your
watching.
when you
Um,
do that?
I
Or
choose you. Um, timestamps are great. We're just barely getting
oh
around to adding
yes.
timestamps to our videos. Like, it's such a good best practice. Everyone
Mm-hmm.
should do it. Notice here, if you don't know how to do a timestamp, it's very easy. You just have to start with the zero. If
Mm-hmm.
you start with 0:00, and then you can just put in any timestamps you want. And then when we're watching a video, we can move and you see these little indentations here. And that's really cool. That helps watch time and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So this is really great that you're optimizing a lot on, I guess would call this the back end, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lots of links. We can now get to your podcast from the links and all of that. But what we'd really, and a public comment is one other thing you should do.
Mm-hmm.
In a public comment, I like to do something engaging like, hey, have you ever been to Athens? Have you ever watched trains? something that's going to get people to actually leave a comment, and then make sure you do your best to respond to those comments. But then, so you're doing that really well. But now what Veronica was talking about is actually getting into the content itself, getting into the video itself. And that's the other half of the puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
And so everything that Veronica said is really good as far as the outlining and the scripting. So definitely a hook. Every YouTube video should have a little bit of a hook. Hooks don't have to be spelled out like on this video, you're going to learn this. They can also be just really crazy, like attention grabbers, like, and you see somebody screaming, I don't know, something that's going to be like, whoa, I got to watch out what's going to happen. And so, you just think about it like storytelling. How are you going to hook somebody in?
Mm-hmm.
Think about the way like a song starts. Think about the way like a movie starts. There's
Mm-hmm.
something in films and in stories, there's this inciting incident that happens. So
Mm-hmm.
what's the inciting incident that's going to draw people in? The most like cliche way of doing it on YouTube is saying, in this video, I'm going to show you how to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Or are you struggling with this? Is this a problem for you? Well, that's cool, because in this video, I'm going to take that problem away. That's all the hook has to be. And then you could play a little intro. And then after an intro, Veronica calls it, she calls it intro. And then there's an intro number 2 as
Mm-hmm.
well. So you do
Intro
your,
number 1 and intro number 2.
yeah. So intro number 1 is where you establish your credibility or your credentials. And you say, hey, this is who I am. This is why I'm uniquely qualified to be sharing this information for you. This is why you should care, or why you should like me.
Mm-hmm.
That's intro number 1. And then intro number 2 is what? The video intro.
Mm-hmm.
And so you do that video intro. That's all really good. And then some other things that you could look at with your videos as well is do some competitor analysis and really start looking at some other vlog channels.
Mm-hmm.
Easy way to do that, like I showed you, is with TubeBuddy, looking into the similar results that come up.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can do that in TubeBuddy, but then also just like traveling in Greece, or watching the trains go by in Greece or whatever, and just see like some of the production elements. One thing that's really important is audio. And I noticed that a lot of times on your videos, you're just using the audio from your phone, and that's okay. But people really do care about audio a lot on YouTube. And it's one of the big hurdles that a lot of people have to overcome, before they really start seeing their videos perform. And so there's a lot of options you could do with your phone for that. There's lavalier microphones. I know I saw you with the lavalier clip-on microphone in one of your videos, so I know you're working toward that. That could be difficult and tricky, and especially when you're on the go. It's like you almost have to get like, but those lavalier microphones, they have these attachable things you could put around them that look like little mice, really furry balls, and those will keep all the wind out, because wind is always our problem when we're on the go and when we're traveling. So you got to look at wind screens, all sorts of different wind screens. Some people I've found bring all this audio equipment out into the field, and they wind up using their phone for the audio because they're able to like get the best audio with their phone. So you just have to kind of continue to experiment with how you can improve your audio. And then if you're using your phone, maybe look into getting one of those Omni, or one of those like holder stabilizer. I can't, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank, like little jibs that, and we have one, and they're kind of fun. Here? Yeah. And that way you could do like kind of do impressive, like kind of scenic shots of the areas. It's always nice to have B-roll playing maybe while you're talking about what you're going to talk about. That would also be a really good idea for a vlogging version of your podcast as well. So, and I know you mentioned up there, like the big struggle you're having is, how to kind of get going with your podcast on YouTube, and like how to create content with your podcast and on YouTube at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I always thought that for travel vlogging, you could do that where you don't even do it in front of you could do a little bit in front of the camera. Like, hey, on this video, I travel, I'm going to tell you my story about this man I met in Greece, and whatever. And then you just have like B-roll of that man, or pictures of him, and you have B-roll that you capture really, and look into maybe getting a GoPro or getting some type of videography equipment. Because unfortunately in the travel vlog area, it's not unfortunate, it's fun, but you do need to invest in a little bit of
Mm-hmm.
more cinematic style cameras to really bring us into that environment with you.
Mm-hmm.
But
To really capture the beauty of those places.
yeah, but we've missed a bunch of comments while we were talking.
Okay.
I love that Cinemondo's here. Hopefully you're still here. just SEO'd my channel to the max. It's almost like a video game. I know it is, right? I love the SEOing.
That's awesome.
And that's the first part of it. And then the second part of it is looking at the content on the video, saying, once somebody clicks on this, are they going to love it? How can I make sure that they do that? But I'm not sure. Okay. Oh, Veronica, I hear that. I covered that in the description. Yeah, she was saying about your intros and stuff. I've been told I'm very good at talking to my phone. Thanks, Cinnamano. I would definitely click on the kitty thumbnail. I've been trying to leave myself comments, but they don't always show up, and I'm not sure why that is. You mean from other channels, or from the pinned comments? And then
So that's something that we used to do. Like to get to those 100 subscribers on your YouTube channel, you have to you have to jump through hoops. You have to involve your family, your friends. You
you have
have
to
to
threats and
threads. We had different accounts. I had an account, even
yeah.
had like 2 accounts.
Anytime we
Our
would
kids
travel,
have accounts, so every time we would post a video, we would switch and comment and watch. And every time we would travel, we will play our videos.
I would get onto the hotel TV and look at YouTube and make sure that Pod Sound School's playlists were just on repeat, you know, because I'm like, we need some, like we were in Mexico, I'm like, we need some Mexican views on our channel. We were very desperate at first, and that's okay. It's pulling teeth at first to let the algorithm know that you have good quality videos, and YouTube's testing you though. It does push your videos out there. And even when you're a brand new creator, it will push your videos out there. You just have to be consistent and constantly try to improve
and do your best to bring traffic to your video.
And then will you be talking about Spotify podcast? Have some questions. Yeah, drop your questions, Jack. We can talk about Spotify podcasts. What are your specific questions? Jax.
Both trying to leave comments. Oh, okay.
Trying to leave comments from my other channel, and also trying to leave comments from this account. That's strange. I don't know why that wouldn't be working. So we've covered a lot, but I do think that what we've covered is seems easy enough in speech, but it can be difficult in practice. So if anybody has any other questions or any ideas for Sophia, please drop them here. Looks like we've had about
have been so supportive. Yeah, we're used to that. You have to leverage your family and friends. That we did that. We used to call my family in Colombia, and you need to watch this video. And we did that for a while until our videos started to pick up.
Started to pick up, yeah.
But it doesn't happen magically and overnight. But just to have the peace of mind that you optimize your video, that you put your best content out there, that you added some engagement to your videos, that you added some best practices to the way that you deliver your content, and that you brought traffic to your video too, like either through social media, your friends, your email list, and then you're just like, okay, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, and then your videos, your views will start to pick up. And if your content is good, then people will watch it until the end, and YouTube loves that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think you could look back at your old videos and just think about it like from a first, like, how would have this video been better? How can I engage people right from the beginning? And what kind of video could I make that people are just going to have to click on from the home screen is kind of the idea with discovery, because we come up when people type in like how to do this or that. But also you can get suggested to people on their home screen if you're similar to things they like. So they log into YouTube, and if you think about your own YouTube practices, so what happens to you when you log into YouTube? I know we're YouTube creators, probably a lot of us, so we kind of might just go directly to our own channel and check our stats. But I know that when I'm just logging onto YouTube as a consumer, I do just look through my home screen just to see what's up there, because the YouTube algorithm, well, it's kind of between me and Veronica, we share this channel, but the YouTube algorithm knows what we like. So lately I've been into watching these guys. They build stuff in the like, it's a time-lapse photography. These guys building underground swimming pools and things. And it's therapy for my brain. And YouTube knows I like that stuff. And so it's about how you can optimize your videos so YouTube knows what's in your video, and then make a video that people are just gonna be like, oh yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
want more of this.
Yeah. So, yeah, talking about the language challenge. So what we used to tell my family there is about, we don't understand. We're like, don't care. We don't care if you can't understand. This isn't for you. You
Uh-huh.
just play it and let it play until the end, and then from there watch another of our videos, and you're done. You, we just need that initial to gain momentum for our videos. So you can definitely do that, and then just make sure that next time you're going to release a video, contact me, and we can post your video on our YouTube channel and see on our Facebook group. Sorry,
Yeah.
and see if we can get some views from our Facebook group.
Yeah, and get a Facebook group there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing, you can join groups, you can find other. Facebook is a perfect place for that.
Mm-hmm.
Not for shameless self-promotion.
Yeah. No.
And because the thing about shameless self-promotion is just not very effective. It's
No.
not a very good use of your time. So Veronica is always like, she actually starts enjoying finding the not allowing people into our Facebook
Yes.
who are obviously just there to be in one of 300 Facebooks that they're
Yes.
in, to
Because
just do shameless
yeah,
self-promotion.
no, no,
Hmm.
no. That's a big no-no, because as creators, we work so hard to create our content, and just to have somebody, uh, just promoting their own stuff without providing value or helping
Or
others,
helping others or being interested in others.
or being interested, show interest. But yeah, so I think, and we believe in the that this organic growth.
Yeah.
So we don't recommend to do like a subscriber for subscriber, or follow for follow, or any of that. At the end of the day, just that doesn't really work.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's just like having a shell
Yeah. Or
and it's empty
a
inside.
perfect example is that if you have a Twitter, if you guys who are watching, if you guys have a Twitter, who does have a Twitter, uh, raise your hand. um, I would love to. And if you're not following us on Twitter, come follow us and we'll be Twitter friends.
Mm-hmm.
But on Twitter, you see constantly like podcast recommendations. Does anybody have any podcast recommendations? Hey, I'm looking for podcast recommendations. And most podcasters just leave a link to their podcast. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of times they don't even say anything. What you could do is hop into that person's account, spy on them a little bit, see what they're into, and then you like, oh, hey, I noticed you're really into red wine. I actually just did this episode all about the best red wine under $100 or something, and I think that you would really enjoy it. And then they're going to be like, whoa, and follow them as well. And that feeling that we get when we actually interact on social media,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of, we forget that social media is about that community thing, right?
Yeah.
And so and it's the same thing with when you join those groups and when you look, because that's part of what it is. If you're optimizing your videos, you're making great videos, then go outside of YouTube and see if there's ways you can get people to bring some of your intended audience into YouTube and make them aware of your channel.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing you could do is also competitor analysis like crazy. Look at other people who are doing YouTube the way that you imagine that you could do it, or that you vibe with, that you
Mm-hmm.
like. And you can go to their YouTube channel, and every single YouTube channel across the top of it, there's an about, and a good portion of YouTubers have their email right there. We
Mm-hmm.
have our email in our YouTube channel. So you can very easily contact. And if they don't have the email, just start dropping them some comments on their videos.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually they're very easy to get a hold of. Sometimes you can find them on social media too.
Mm-hmm.
Start picking their brain. I love your channel. I would, it'd be cool if I'd like to do something similar with my channel. Would you mind if I interviewed you? Would you mind to connect with me? And then do a live video podcast with them and put that on your channel.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're telling YouTube that you are rubbing shoulders with this other travel vlogger,
Mm-hmm.
and now you are kind of being integrated, like intertwined with those keywords and with that information. And so now people who like that travel vlogger vlogger, my language is great tonight.
Vulgar.
Yeah, all this linguistic stuff. um it will tell YouTube, oh, those people who like this channel will also like Sophia's channel, because they're
Mm-hmm.
friends. And that's another little growth hack as well that you can do. And as podcasters, we're already pretty good at doing that, because we've already gone through the discomfort of inviting a guest onto our show a lot of times, interviewing somebody that intimidates us,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. So we already have that in the bag. So that's pretty easy to do.
Mhm.
So we have,
So,
oh,
yes, Sophia. So when you post, when you embed your video on your website, that counts as a, and somebody watches it from your website, that counts as a view.
yes, definitely.
Uh huh.
And YouTube loves that.
Mm-hmm.
And it is, if you have a website and you know you get traffic there, it's a good practice.
Mm-hmm.
We've kind of stopped doing that too because our channel sort of started taking off within YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But we used to, every single video we would post on our
We'll
website,
post it on our website.
post it on all over social media.
Mm-hmm.
And then in your videos, maybe you want to start thinking of a way you can gather emails and start looking at email marketing. A lot of our subscribers on YouTube, they don't, maybe they don't have their notifications turned on, or they just don't notice it at the right time when we publish our video. But then later in the week, Veronica will send out an email and say,
Mm-hmm.
hey, did you catch this week's email? Or
Yeah.
did you catch this week's video? It's all about this. And we get another 20 or 30 or 40 people who come and watch our video again.
Mm-hmm.
Great. I just subscribed. Woohoo. Thank you. No limits.
Subscribe to Sophia's.
Yeah, I know. Oh, hello. I'm not sure what's going on. I need more caffeine, I think. So I'm trying
So
to,
we have, I think,
we have some questions.
so, yeah.
Oh, Jax has been asking about Spotify, right?
Mm-hmm.
Struggling to find ways to include songs and comedy
Comedy
samples
samples
to
to
recommend
recommend
to
to
the
the
audience.
audience.
So if you're on Spotify, and if you've started on Anchor, Jax, are you using Anchor to
I think
as your
so.
podcast host? You do have the option to incorporate music.
Mm-hmm.
Veronica did a video about it actually on our channel,
Mm-hmm.
how you can make a music podcast with Spotify now. It's a little interesting. It'd be great if there were a few more options, but it kind of completely, it's almost like a dynamic insert. So it inserts that song from Spotify into your podcast episode. So if you wanted people to listen to a song, or I'm not sure if you can do, I don't think you can do it with the comedy shows yet on there, but what are you concerned about? Are you concerned about copyright? Are you concerned about, yeah, like maybe if you could elaborate on that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Did he?
did he elaborate on it? So yeah, I saw her video. Oh, you saw her video. Oh, cool. But it limits to 30 seconds. Yeah, with the songs, it limits
Mm-hmm.
it to 30 seconds. But
It does. It has its limitations. We are waiting to see what happens with that feature to
you,
see if they make it
you
better.
could also set up like Spotify playlists and send people to your own custom made playlist. There's all sorts of different things like that. We had a student who used her Spotify playlist as a way to capture, as a lead magnet, as a way to capture people's emails. So you could put together your own Spotify playlist with all the
Mm-hmm.
links all ready for them and say, hey, if you want a Spotify playlist and all my recommendations for my favorite comedy shows,
Mm-hmm.
go here and build a quick landing page with an email provider, and they give you their email, and in exchange they get a really cool playlist that you've put a lot of time putting together for them.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have their email, which
Yeah.
is really nice. Playlist is a good
Mm-hmm.
idea.
Yeah.
Didn't think of that. Thanks. Yeah, it's kind of tricky. You just have to keep asking around and just keep growing, and also try to survey your audience. Try to think about who your audience is and see if they care if it's 30-second clips or not.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're there to listen to more of you and less of the music. Like they could just
Mm-hmm.
go listen to the song otherwise. And try to ask your audience what they would like from your podcast,
Mm-hmm.
not just the ideas of what you want to do with your podcast.
See.
Ooh, can you talk more about lead magnets
Uh-huh. And we have a in Spanish
in
too.
Spanish?
So let's do Victor, and then we'll
We'll do Victor, and then we'll
we'll
talk about
talk
lead
about late
magnets for a
magnets.
minute. Yep.
Respondo en español o en inglés, como quieras. Okay.
Let me see if I can understand this. Is this making money? You can't make money in Latin America with the app? No. Dang.
So, Victor, depende de lo que estés hablando. So it will be chévere for the Spanish speaking audiences. What would it be like to have a YouTube channel or to create music podcast using Anchor?
Okay.
So if you can could elaborate
Elaborate
more
more on that.
regarding to that,
And
and And also you can monetize your channel in Spanish.
Yeah, you can monetize your channel
Mm-hmm.
completely in Spanish.
Completely in Spanish.
Um,
The monetization feature of Anchor, if that's what you're referring to, that is just I would say it you would have to worried about, or you would have to be concerned about growing your audience first to the point when you have more than 1000 downloads per episode, and then at that point you can start monetizing your podcast.
mhm.
You're not going to get a lot of money that way. Something that we encourage our the podcasters in our community and our clients is to como quieras. Oh yeah, is to really think about a service, think about other ways that they can use their influence, use their the podcast audience that they already have, and monetize that in a different way. Unfortunately, for indie podcasters, is really really hard to make money with ads or sponsorships. It's not impossible, but you have to. There are certain numbers that you have to hit as far as downloads to even get the attention of a sponsor.
Mhm.
But I'm talking about the big ad agencies for podcasts. But you can't approach somebody directly, somebody, a company, a small company that you know that will love to put their service and products in front of your audience, and that you would have to go and be actively, proactively look for those small businesses and service providers that will love to be in front of your audience. So that will be one of the ways that you can do it.
Yep.
And also, if you have a service, if you have a product on your own, we recommend people just look at here first, because we're like so eager to get other people. Well, what about you? Like, do you have a service? Are you a coach? Are
Uh-huh.
you a musician? Like, what is it that you have to offer that you can sell to your audience to make money, to sustain
Yeah,
your podcast,
and how
and
can your
hopefully make a living one day?
yeah, and how can your podcast give you authority in that too?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a musician, maybe you're a really just a badass guitarist,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to teach guitar lessons, or you want to be a studio musician. Well, then you can use your podcast to start interviewing studio musicians and other big guitarists and big engineers, audio engineers, or big, I don't know, big, and that way you have a lot of authority,
Mm-hmm.
and you can use that authority to drive more clients
Mm-hmm.
into your services that you offer. And there's a lot of opportunity that way. So not just making money directly from selling ads on your podcast or
Mm-hmm.
from selling merch on your podcast or anything like that, but actually making money indirectly from your podcast is
Mm-hmm.
super possible.
Yeah.
Um,
So
so we
so
had lead
oh
magnets
yeah,
that we
we
were going
have
to
lead
talk
magnets.
about. And then
So
we
lead
also had another
magnets.
question just now from Gabriela. Hey, Gabriela, how's
Mm-hmm.
it going?
So
Um,
going to the lead
and we'll
magnets
get to your
with
question too, Gabriela. Let's talk about lead magnets for just
mm-hmm.
a minute.
That is something that we encourage. Once again, we encourage our people to do a lot of things because we've tried in ourselves, and we
It's
have
all market
tried them
research. You just got
ourselves.
to
Yes, you
jump out
just
there
got
and
to
start
jump
doing it.
and doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So a lead magnet is, it can be in the form of a download of a PDF that you create on Canva or anywhere else. It can be a video. It can be a series of emails that you send to your email subscribers
Yep.
with tips, with different things that you can do with your email list. So the main objective of this piece of content that you're gonna put together for free is to capture emails.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, in our case, we have different lead magnets, and those lead magnets are connected to a service that we may thinking about launching in the future, or a service that we already launched, and we really want to know who are interested in that type of service. So we have a lead magnet that is specifically for those who want to start a podcast, and it's the podcast jumpstart
Mm-hmm.
guide.
Yep.
So we know that if somebody wants to or has downloaded that guide, then it's because that person is interested in launching a podcast.
Yeah. right?
So that's all you need to do. You need to create something like that, something that you're good at, that you know that is going to be providing ton of value tons of value to the person who is downloading it, and also that is connected to something in the future that is gonna help you with some kind of launching a service,
Yeah.
launching a product, or whatever you're
Yeah,
thinking about.
maybe in 2 years you have a service or a product that you want to launch.
Hmm.
It's not there yet, but you could make an outline of what that is going to involve, of what you plan on serving or what you plan on doing, and then sort of reverse engineer your vision of your service
Hmm.
into a little mini version of it, of what that would be, into a lead magnet. And give a lot of information. And really, another thing that works well with lead magnets is like hot tips
Hmm.
inside your lead magnet too, where you're like, do this right now, and then people are like, whoa, that was really helpful to me. I really think this person cares,
Hmm.
and it's that whole nourishing relationships and building relationships with people
Hmm.
um, in your community. And so lead magnets are really fun. And there it comes in Canva again for
Hmm.
another reason. Canva is perfect.
Yeah.
We make all our lead magnets in
Yeah,
Canva.
if you are a creator, if you're a content creator, you need to have Canva,
Canva is just
definitely.
really cool, really good for collaborating with other people too. Okay, so let's see.
Gabriela.
We're getting to the hour mark. So let's try to answer as many questions as we have.
Hmm.
Welcome to anyone who's just joined. We've sort of finishing up our channel audit of
Hmm.
Sofía Syntaxx's channel. And we do these. We're going to start doing these on YouTube. I think we used to do our channel audits in our Facebook group,
Hmm.
but we thought it'd be fun to come over to YouTube and start chatting with our
Hmm.
friends here on YouTube, our podskis here on YouTube. So um, then we have, and Jax has another question that he asked before Gabriella about about copyright. Is
Hmm.
it copyright to say the comedy from a stand-up show? And is there any? That's a little. Is it? I don't think necessarily it is. I don't think you're going to get dinged with that. What would be copyright is to actually play the whole clip of the stand-up show. But if you're just
Hmm.
kind of re-saying, that's
Hmm.
like me acting out a scene from a movie.
Hmm.
I don't own the rights to the writing rights, but I there's also performance rights. It's a
Hmm.
gray area.
And it's also depending on how you're going to approach it and how you're going to do it. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're going to tell a story, if this is storytelling, so I went to a comedy club, and this is what happens, and and then you tell the story of that person, that you give credit to that person, then that's not, in my opinion, wouldn't be considered a
Yeah, and always just
copyright violation.
give credit to the thing,
Yes, and always, always, to be on the safe side of things and create original content.
and cite your sources,
Mm-hmm.
and especially don't do anything that you're asking about copyright. Don't include it in like an intro piece that you're going to use in every episode.
Mm-hmm.
Also, check your name of your podcast. Make sure nobody else is using the name of your podcast, because if that stuff is just ingrained in all of your podcast episodes, and somebody's like, "That's my name," then
Mm-hmm.
you'll have to just take down your whole podcast. Well, you could have to.
Yeah. So,
So,
Sophia, we have a few videos that talk about podcast promotion.
or Gabriela,
Oh, I said
you
Sophia.
said
Once I
Sophia.
said Sophia,
That's all right.
because this is Sophia's
This is Sophia's pod audit, right?
part at it.
Yeah.
But Gabriela, I published a video not too long ago that talks about the different ways that you can promote your podcast. I can send you the link to that video.
Uh huh.
With that being said, is to be on platforms that have algorithms that can help you um, get discovered. And we are encouraging the podcasters in our community to get onto YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
because the YouTube algorithm really, really help small creators to get their content out there, and try to match audiences with content creators.
Mm-hmm.
So I would do that. It's very, very hard within the podcast directories to grow your audience.
Yep.
So I would do that. I would leverage your social media of choice, or where that that your ideal listener is at, that your people are at. If it's Instagram, if it's TikTok, if it's Twitter, then I will learn how the algorithm works for those platforms, and just to like create a workflow that will allow you to post content regularly and be present on those platforms, interacting with people. So that's what I would do.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I agree with all that as well too. And just look at the platforms, look at your workflow, look at how much time you have every week with your podcast, and bake in and figure out how much time you can spend every week promoting it.
Hmm.
Veronica touched on the podcast players, Apple especially, Spotify, Google. They don't really have anything that is going to help your podcast to show up on the
Yeah, no,
directories. So
no.
they're not going to just, they don't have they don't have a discoverability, a
Hmm.
discovery engine like YouTube has.
No.
So I would get onto YouTube with your
Hmm.
podcast and I'd get
And that's
yourself
the
in front
big
of a
news
camera.
that we have, right?
Yeah, that's the fun news that we have this week.
Yeah, for those of you who are familiar with YouTube and
Mhm,
who are um, active on YouTube and may have ever searched for how to start your YouTube channel, you may
mhm,
have come across Nick Niman. And Nick Niman, he's been our YouTube coach for a while, and we partner with Nick Niman to put um, a training together to teach podcasters how to start podcasting on YouTube.
mhm.
If you want to register for this training, we're gonna drop the link in the description of this video.
Yep, and
But
you can also go to this. I just thought I'd show you Nick's channel.
mhm,
If you're, this is a great channel too.
mhm,
He's been such a good, valuable resource for us. Nick also has a podcast
mhm.
called
Com, com,
Comments Over Coffee,
comments over coffee.
and
Hmm.
he's just such a helpful, legitimate, like really cares about his community and helping creators grow. And so, yeah, he's we're putting together free
A
online
free online training
training all
with
about
him
with him.
next week. You're going
Uh-huh.
to be learning about the importance of being on YouTube and how YouTube works and how YouTube help small creators to get discovered. And
Mm-hmm.
also, we're going to be talking about workflow because that's one of the questions. Well, how do I incorporate recording my podcast with video at the same time? We're going to be covering that. We're going to be covering also how you can make videos that your audience cares about, videos and podcast episodes. This is one of the things that we made the mistake. We see a lot of people making that mistake, that
Mm-hmm.
we assume what our audience is going to like based on what we like, if that's not necessarily the case
Yeah.
sometimes. So that, like, how really make videos that people are searching for
Yep.
and that people will be watching,
Mm-hmm.
um um will be watching, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so can we show them?
Yeah. So the
That's the
this the
registration.
registration. You just go to podcastingsmart.com
Mm-hmm.
slash YouTube. And then you can just come here and sign up for, and then you'll grab your seat. And it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be Thursday, February 18th at 9 a.m. Pacific time.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's a little early, but Nick is in Thailand. So that's actually that's midnight his
That's
time.
midnight. But
Um,
he's a night owl.
he's a night owl, so that's the when we did
Mm-hmm.
when our schedules met up. So that's when
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna do it. So definitely don't miss out on that. It's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
really fun. Probably be about an hour long, and so that's something that we're really excited about. Um,
So we hope to see you there so you can learn more about YouTube
uh-huh.
with us and Nick Neiman.
Yeah. And then Jax asked, "Can you audit my podcast?" Yeah. Just pop over to our Facebook group. It's called Podcasting for Bosses. But the
Mm-hmm.
easiest way to get there is to go to podsoundschool.com/community.
Mm-hmm.
And that will bring you there. And it takes a day usually or so for Veronica to approve you and get you into the group. And
Mm-hmm.
then from there, we have shared our pod audit sign up sheet. And that's
Mm-hmm.
how you can sign up for these pod audits. So,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, Sophia, great. Keep up the
So
great
the
work.
training is free. If you guys were wondering if the training had any cost, the training is for free.
Oh, yeah, it's totally for
It's
free.
totally for free. You can register for free. Show up, join us with your questions.
Yep.
He is, I mean, he knows the YouTube algorithm up and down.
Yeah.
He's very knowledgeable. Is that a good? I feel like sometimes I say things that don't make any sense, like
Knowledgeable?
up and down.
No. Oh, yeah, up and
Yeah,
down.
up and down. The other day for our podcast episode, I say I said squeeze that baby.
Squeezing the baby. No, I think you said juice the baby.
Juice the baby.
Squeeze the juice
I
out of
was
the
just
baby.
trying to say like it just, take advantage of every moment that you're.
I like the
But
squeeze the baby. I'm
but
going to
I
use it
said
from
so
now
now people think that I squeeze babies. I don't squeeze babies.
on. And then Gabriela says, I would like to know what services you provide.
Mm-hmm.
Can you help me set up the YouTube channel and the podcast? Actually, yes, we
So
can.
actually, yeah, if you
We do
if
provide
you
those.
go to the training, you are going to learn a lot.
Yeah. And
So
it's a free
it's
training
a
and
free training. So the first thing that I would advise you to do is to go to podcastingsmart.com/YouTube, register for the training. Go and check us out. Go check Nick Niemann's out, and then we can start from there.
yeah, and we can start from there.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I think in the end of the training, we're going to be sharing how you can work with us and things like that too.
That should be a saying. Squeeze the baby.
Squeeze the baby. I think it's a good saying. We've been.
I know.
That could be a good piece of merch too, like a nice
Squeeze
little
the baby.
onesie or something. Squeeze the baby. Juice the baby. I haven't time to do it. Yeah. Oh, I will see you there, guys, for sure. Thanks so much. Yeah. Awesome. We will see everyone there. I want to learn podcasting, but how? I know
We have go to our YouTube channel.
Just go to the channel right here
We
where you're
have a
watching.
playlist of on how to start your podcast. You can spend a lot of time watching those
Spend
videos.
a lot of times. Yep. And if you have any questions on the videos
Just
you're
make sure
watching,
that you
just drop them in
comment.
the comments. And then here, is there a way to watch the training video as a replay if you can't make the training? Yeah.
Yes.
I think we're going to have a replay. The
Mhm.
best way to make sure that you get the replay is to register for
Mhm.
the training. And if you can't make it, then we're going to send the replay video out automatically.
Mhm.
We haven't in an email.
Mhm. Yes.
So that's the best way I think that's the only way that you'll be able to get the replay is through the email.
Yeah, but make sure that you guys make it to the training if you can, because there are things that will be offered during that training that won't be offered anywhere else. So make sure that you make it.
Yeah, and because we do have a small playlist of videos that are in Hindi, so you can check that out. If you go to our channel, Pod Sound School channel, and you go all the way down, scroll all the way down, there's a playlist that says other languages, I think. It says Spanish and Hindi. And I've heard that the Hindi translations aren't the best, but they're pretty good. So you can go check that out. And then,
so Gabriela, you can email me at veronica@podsoundschool.com if you want to get a hold of us.
Yeah, that's a great way to get a hold of us. Veronica at Pod Sound School.
Veronica@podsoundschool.com.
Also, and then mine is Studio Steve at Pod Sound School, and then .com. And then also you could always slide into our DMs.
Slide.
Veronica is the Instagram girl, and I am the Twitter guy at Pod Sound School. And we respond pretty well there too.
Slide.
I think part of why that you wonder if you're saying things is like I get so focused on the buttons and the headphones and the microphone sound and everything that I don't always pick up on your
attention to
your really funny jokes, and so you say them and I don't pick up on them, and then you get self-conscious like, oh boy, does that even make sense?
The second language struggles.
Yeah, but thank you guys so much for joining and for hanging out with us.
Yes.
I think we're starting to do our podcast live on YouTube too. We like to be guinea pigs for our podcast, for our podskis. And so we're trying to help people see all the different options you have on YouTube with your podcast. One of the things you could do is go live and interact with your community live. That's a really fun way. And so we actually share the screen and show you how we record our podcast and how we switch off between going answering questions and then also getting back into the podcast, and how we capture the audio of that live to then turn it into a podcast episode, which can be a little tricky. And so
so if you want us on the go-to, you want to learn about podcasting, and we try to make it fun and funny, and more conversational on our podcast. Is the same name as our YouTube channel, Pod Sound School.
And they won't let me.
We are on Apple Podcasts and all of the podcast directories.
Oh, I spelled podcasting wrong. They won't let me type. I don't think you can type a URL into this comment, but it's podcastingsmart.com/YouTube. If you type in podcastingsmart.com/YouTube, that's how you can find the registration for that as well. And we're going to be we'll be putting an announcement on our YouTube channel about it,
Mm-hmm.
because we still have a week. So, and we'll be putting more announcements out about it as well too, John. So we'd love to see you there. Cool, you guys. Well,
Yes.
and then nice to see everyone again that came back. Always, it's super fun to do this. We're kind of
Mm-hmm.
becoming addicted to it. So we'll catch you next week. Next week. Oh, cool. So,
Oh, Gracie me
awesome. That's going
mandó.
to be really fun. Make sure you come with some questions, because we're going to be doing a
Yes.
Q&A. I think it's going to be about an hour long, and we're going to try to save like 20 minutes or if we can at the
Mm-hmm.
end, maybe
Yeah.
15, and we'll probably go a little over the hour if there's still a lot of questions.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we're using a really fun platform that we love. It's called Demio. It's this really fun place to be live with our community at. So,
Mm-hmm.
anyway, that's going to be really fun. So we'll
Awesome.
catch you guys next week for another channel audit if we have one sign up. I think we're still waiting for one in the group. And then also we will catch you next week for the free training,
Yeah.
the podcasting, and the name of the training is how to effectively use YouTube to massively grow your audience, to grow your podcast audience.
Mm-hmm.
And that's without wasting time buying expensive equipment or an impossible learning curve. So it's going to be a real game changer.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be dropping the mic on that
Yeah.
one if we can. So cool. Everyone have a great night or a great morning wherever you're tuning in from. And we'll catch you on the flip side.
Yeah. Bye-bye.